This is the Newsload.
Hello.
Hi, Bryan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Look at your adorable cat in the background.
Yeah, that's Gruber. He likes to attend all meetings, take notes, that kind of thing.
Gruber. How adorable. Well,
Yeah,
let's get
he's all right.
started, eh?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, I'm Carrie Anne Stevenson. Welcome to Newsload. We're here with Bryan Hatt. Hi, Bryan. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Long time no see.
I know. So, not a lot of people know this, but we went to high school together.
Briefly, yes. I think you were a few years behind me, not to age you, but
Yeah.
yes.
It was even
In the
wonderful.
little town of Arva, Ontario.
Yeah, Medway Cowboys for sure. But the super cool thing was we got to ride the bus together every once in a while, and I sat with you, and you were so sweet and charming, even when you were, 16, 17 years old, just a charming lad.
Thank you. My parents always said, based on my report cards, it seems like I was having more fun on the bus than I was at school. So perhaps you contributed to that somewhat.
So you were in student council in high school, yeah?
I was, yes, ever so briefly. Yes, again.
Yeah, I remember.
I was also impeached, for the lack of a better term, for just lack of, I just, I guess I wanted to win, but I had no real leadership plan whatsoever. So after about a month or two, I can't remember exactly, it's been so long now, I was asked to just forego the position for somebody who was willing to do the work, which I think was a great man by the name of Brad Goddard.
That's amazing and hilarious.
Yeah.
But you won the popularity contest, which is, really important.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been involved in comedy for a little while now, eh?
Yeah. I mean, when you add the sketch and the stand-up together, it's been about 25 years now.
Yeah. And we'll start from the beginning, even before our high school days. Where were you born?
I was born in the little town of Ilderton, Ontario, which is growing now. It was about 600 at the time. I think they're around 10,000 now, but lovely childhood, As you know, I got a little bit of the country life, and then London was right there to foster my higher aspirations, although I quickly found out that London was capped pretty low itself, but it provided me everything I needed.
Yeah, wonderful. And did you have brothers and sisters?
I have, yes, three brothers, one older, no, sorry, two older, one younger. Can't remember how old I am. And they're just a family full of boys, and somehow my mother is still alive and going.
That must
Normally, I would tell people that the first thing that comes out of 50% of people's mouths is, "Oh, your poor mother." Like, she's doing fine.
I know. That's so many boys, and you probably were rowdy and broke things.
Oh, sure. For those, I think we were pretty good boys in general, but we ate like locusts. You know what I mean? Like, there came a point where you couldn't even have grapes. My mother liked grapes, so she would buy grapes and put them in the middle of the kitchen table. And she would turn her back, unload the groceries, and the grapes would just be gone. She'd just stand there like, that was $12 worth of grapes, just gone. That was in the 80s, too.
Yeah, boys just eat and eat. And four of you, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I shudder to think what those grocery bills were like. Yeah.
I can't even imagine. And needing new shoes every 3 months and.
Yeah, we grew pretty fast. I'm starting to realize maybe that's why my dad did so much gardening now, just to cut down on the grocery bill. Like, all that fresh fruit and vegetables in the summer, that might not have been just for his own, peace of mind. That might have been just to cut the grocery budget a minute.
For sure. And do your parents have a bit of a sense of humor as well?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, my dad, God bless him, is very sweet man, but a horrible joke teller. He gets so excited to have a joke, he can barely get it out. But my mother's side of the family, is, all of them that I ever met were always very sharp, very quick on their feet. I'm fairly certain it comes from that side. I think I get my likability from my old man and the sharp cat-like tongue from my mother.
Well, there's no argument that you have an extreme likability. You're so lovely.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
So, do you have any heckling stories as a comedian?
I mean, nothing too. I mean, the only one that I'm a comic that creates a bit of a dialogue with his audience. You know, I'm not just a blog. I like to often transition jokes through the audience, you know, by relating to their experiences. So I don't really invite a lot of heckling because I already have them talking to me. But there has been like the one occasion that always kind of sticks out in my mind. I went to some, you know, some tiny town in the middle of nowhere. It's a typical, you know, community center setup gig. You know, it's the town hall thing, and the three of us are there. Whoever it was, I think Ian Sirota might have been there too. Anyways, you know, there's no lighting, there's no microphone. Like they just don't know what goes into a comedy show. And they're like, oh, you can just do it a cappella, but this is a big room, probably holding close to 300 people. So it's not the easiest thing, even for a guy that went to theater school. It's not the easiest thing to fill up. You know what I mean? So I'm just middling, God bless, you know, with the shortest, easiest job on the show. And I'm kind of rifling through my jokes after about the 15-minute mark because I can hear my voice starting to strain. And it's not like I'm smashing a room or anything. I'm getting laughs, but I'm not killing. So I'm just like, I just want to do my time, get out of here. And so about three-quarters of the way through my act, because I'm just banging the jokes out by this point now, somebody yells from the back, "Segways!" I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like, you don't even throw me a mic and you want fucking transitions? Like, eat a fucking dick, motherfucker. Also, the funniest fucking heckle I've ever received in my life. You're just like, really? You're really upset that your $25 where you paid didn't get you Segways? Go to hell. But as a comic, I sort of appreciated it.
Do you consider yourself an influencer?
God, no, not at all. I think that applies to a whole different sort of group of, you know, social media stars. I don't even know what the term is, but yeah, to me, that's just somebody that's, you know, literally creating a group on social media, as I am trying to do, but mine for more comedic purposes. I think social influencers are just literally a living, breathing email list, for the lack of a better term. Do you know what I mean? They build this audience and then they try and focus a lens on a subject or a product or what have you. If anything, that's more like public relations to me. Like, if you're any good at it, you can be one of these people. I mean, in a way, I guess I'd like a little bit of that, but I'm not. I'm not trying to amass those social media numbers just so I can, you know. And I hate to use the term, but go full Joe Rogan on you and start telling you they didn't land on the moon. Like, I'm not gonna care. I just want you to come see my shows and enjoy my jokes and watch my dumb videos. That's it. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. Like, you see my comedy, it's not very political at all. Like, I'm the type of comic where I'm just trying to take the load off your shoulders for 45 minutes. I'm not trying to change your religion or anything like that. Far from it.
Pure entertainment and sweetness.
100%. Yes, yes. I mean, I'm not against that type of comedy. I know some people who do it incredibly well, but that's not my style. That's not my sort of mission statement.
How do you stay sane on the road? What are your secrets?
I was just saying, I mean, I think because it can be tough, especially when you've been in the business. I know some people that have more or less hit the limit with the road. I think the key to that is just never stop like exploring, never stop discovering. Like, even if you've been to that city 100 times before, go find something to do. Like, the worst thing you can do is just sit in your hotel room until the show starts and do nothing. You know what I mean? Because if that's what you're doing before every show, it doesn't foster creativity. You know, part of stand up and garnering new material and stuff is just having experiences, living in the moment and experiencing stuff so you can reflect on it and get a new perspective on it, a story to tell, whatever. You know, you rarely find that, you know, hunched over a computer or just, you know, taking naps at your hotel room. So I like to get out there and do things. Like, I'm off to Niagara Falls this weekend, and I always make a pilgrimage to see the falls, you know, because it is such a gorgeous thing, and it is, you know, inspiring in its own way. And Like just take in the sights at Niagara Falls, especially such a bizarre place when you really take a step back and look at it. So there's lots of fun to be had.
And it's great
And
to be
some of
on
the best part about being on the road is it's just an extended vacation to some degree.
absolutely. And it's great to be on the Canadian side of the Niagara Falls. It's better, it's cooler, it's
Oh,
the
oh yeah.
wonder of the world, very, very cool. I like Niagara Falls very much.
Mhm.
Do you have a favorite comedian?
I mean, not overall. I mean, for the longest time, it was a gentleman by the name of Bill Cosby. I don't know if you heard what happened to him, but his career didn't end so well. Although I guess it's still going because he's out of jail and touring again.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I sort of lost my taste for that guy. But I was just discussing with somebody the other night. I think because it's for comedy, because it's all sort of relative, first of all, and then it's there's only room for one at the top, so there's constantly like people peaking and then coming back down, peaking, coming back down. But right now, for this absolute time in history, my favorite guy going, the guy who I think is killing it, but even deserves a little more love, is a guy named Nate Bargatze, who is just absolutely tearing up theaters all across North America. My good friend Graham Kay, who started with him years ago in New York, is the pleasure of witnessing this guy. The career is just exploding right now, and like he's as clean as Seinfeld, as sharp as Chappelle. He's like, and he's sort of like a bit of a hero to me because I've always been somewhat on the dirtier side, and he is just so deftly funny and never really has to resort to anything that your mom would be embarrassed about or something you can't say on late night television. He's
Yeah,
just I love him. I think he's terrific.
yeah, I like how low key he is, but hilarious observation.
Yeah, and it just he's one of those guys too, and I think this is why so many people think that they can do stand up because if one is done really well, it looks easy, it looks effortless. You know what I mean? Like you can't see the work that goes into it when it's being done beautifully, and that's when you say low key. Like he's so like he has such command of the stage. It doesn't even look like he's breaking a sweat up there whatsoever. Like it's all just sort of unfurling off the top of his head, which is, of course, couldn't be further from the truth. But yeah, he makes it look spectacular.
Yeah, he's almost like an Olympic athlete for a comedian. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He's to stand up what Michael Phelps does to swimming. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah,
just flopping around and they're like a beach whale, and he's just cutting through kilometers of water in mere seconds.
yeah.
But
So
I
many
always,
medals.
I don't mind guys like that. And some people, their ego kind of get squashed by seeing people do better than them. It's inspiring to me. I love to see that because it's like golf comedy. You can't perfect it. You can't shoot a zero. You can only hope to get better day after day.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you have? Did you ever meet someone that made you starstruck?
There's been a couple, I guess. Yeah, I got to meet John Cleese just through a random connection of mine. A friend of mine is like a commercial writer who had a friend that also does some comedy writing. He happened to be writing John Cleese's monologue, or one of the writers at a JFL 42 he did years ago. And so just by virtue of, connections, they needed, an extra essentially to act as a little gag he was doing on stage. So I got to meet him, and he was for sure one of my early influences. A big fan of Monty Python. I'd
Absolutely.
say him and Martin Short. I met briefly in a hallway of Canada's Got Talent or whatever that show he was judging at the time, and that I could barely get words out because he is like probably on my Mount Rushmore of comedians.
Oh
And I
yeah,
couldn't
Martin
believe
Short.
he's so little. It's shocking. There's so many things going on in my mind. I wasn't expecting to see him. He is absolutely as small as you think he is. And he's just a force. He's like a ball of light coming towards you. I remember it's just like, hey, you're Martin Short. And he was just like, oh, Jesus Christ, I am. Just like, I wasn't even ready for it.
That's an
He's
interesting
the best.
observation. I've heard a lot of people mention a celebrity or somebody cool that they've met where they actually do seem like they are lit up, like there's almost an angelic part of them. It's really interesting, and I wonder if that is just natural or their agent and their luck and their skill, but literally being almost glowing. It's a very interesting thing when you meet
I
us.
see. Yeah, I mean, I don't. I can't get into the physics or the science of it all, but I do. I am a big believer in that you release some sort of energy, that's based on your mood and your physical, mental well being. That some people who believe they can see colors, talk about pink auras versus black auras and things like that. I don't know what any of that is true, but I do honestly believe that. We all are sort of magnets. I mean, if you put out positive energy, you get back positive energy, and
You bet.
I suppose if you were in the prime of your career, absolutely living your fullest, wildest dreams, as Martin Short would be. Anyway, I'm sure the man has problems, but on most days, he's probably pretty happy when he wakes up in the morning. And when you just live day after day like that, I wouldn't be surprised if you are lighting up, like literally lighting up a room, so to speak, because you're
Yeah.
irradiating such a good energy. Like,
Fascinating.
because you can feel it in the opposite direction. It's much easier to feel it the other way, where somebody enters a room, you're just like, oh, like what the, like I can feel them on me, like the eyes or the mood shifts or the air gets thicker. You know what I mean? All those things, I very much believe in. I can't explain them, but we all experience them at some point.
For sure, for sure. So, for science, we all want to know, what kind of underwear do you wear?
Well, obviously, I'm here to answer all your scientific questions. What the hell is in here? I just bought a whole bunch of it. I'm trying to remember the name. Oh yes, okay. So I could remember. I'm a big. I make a lot of jokes about shopping at Walmart in my stand-up, and I have very much so. But when I'm really treating myself, I like to go to Winners because I firmly believe there are no losers at Winners, and they have great seals. And I hate shopping for whatever reason. I feel like Winners makes it easier for me. And underwear is, I am a typical male in that sense. I hang onto it until the last thread, but I decided to treat myself and recently picked up 3 packs of polo underwear. And I must say, because it cost me about $90 while I was doing it. I was like, is this the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life? And then you put them on, and you're like, oh, I've been living like a slob my whole life. I've been wearing garbage bags for underwear. This is like, I feel like I'm in a whirlpool of comfort here. This is amazing. So I'm pretty proud of those things right now. But I still have a couple of the old ones. I call them my oh no underwear, just in case I forgot to do laundry. It's like I have nothing clean, so I have them stashed in my closet just in case.
That's
Which
amazing.
I actually had to use them the other week.
Yeah, yeah, just because laundry piles up every time. And it's really annoying when you have the empty basket and then lo and behold, the dirty underwear gets the first. Yeah. Are they boxer briefs? Are they
Oh yes, I didn't really answer the boxer briefs. I guess they would be not true briefs. I never really. I'm much like Kramer. I can't get settled in those things. I need a little bit of comfort, a little something hugging me, just to remind me I'm there.
that's
I mean, in a
amazing.
perfect world, I wouldn't wear anything. You know what I mean? I think at heart I'm a nudist. I'm aware that nobody wants to see us walking the street, nor is it smart to just be naked outside in the sun all day. But I'm one of those people, like when I get home, my shoes and pants come off as quickly as possible.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like they're suffocating me. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Pants are nobody's friend, but you need the thigh protection for the
Oh,
for the
yeah.
for the
I
rubbing.
chafe. Oh, I'm a chafer for sure. Yeah, yeah.
And I bet you burn.
Summer is great and hard.
I bet
Yeah,
you're so fair. I bet you burn so quickly.
a little bit. Yeah, yeah. I can show you some white, but for the sake of your audience, I won't. But let me tell you, don't be fooled by this. This is a lie. I'm like the color of a grocery bag underneath their shirt right now. I swear to you,
Adorable, adorable.
it's the Irish in me.
So, how can we follow you? Do you have a website, Instagram? Keep track of you?
I'm literally just trying to build a website right now, so I'll get back to you on that one. Thank you, WordPress, for not being as easy as advertised. But you're more than welcome to find me. I have, a Facebook fan page. I'm on Instagram, and I got rid of Twitter. I couldn't stand Elon Musk, so don't bother looking for me there. But yeah, at Bryan with a Y _Hatt, HATT. I love to post all my shows and stuff there, so I'm easy to find for you.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. Well, Bryan, I think you're absolutely amazing. And if I can just ask one last thing from you, if you can say it loud, say it proud. I love Newsload.
I love Newsload.
Yay!
Any soda load, you know? Maybe edit that word. I don't know.
I've always adored you since high school. I think you're absolutely
Ah.
wonderful, and I can't thank you enough for your time.
Well, it's mutual, and thank you for having me on the show. And I look forward to see how you make me look different.
Fabulous. Have a great day, Bryan.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
This is the Newsload.